All right, so today we're diving into something that's been making the rounds, a blueprint for financial freedom aimed squarely at corporate folks, the ones who feel stuck in the 9 to 5. It sounds amazing, right? A real path out of the daily grind. But is it a genuine guide, or is there something else going on? Let's dig in and break it all down. So right off the bat, what problem is this whole thing trying to solve? Well, it kicks off by painting this picture it calls the corporate conundrum. And these numbers, wow, they're really meant to hit you where you live. Think about it. 80% of people feeling stressed out, 60% feeling like they have no work-life balance at all. And get this, only 20% are actually happy with how their income is growing. This is the trap, right? And this guide, it's promising you an escape. So after laying out that pretty grim reality, the guide hits you with a super simple but really powerful question. It's designed for anyone who's ever felt trapped, and it just asks, is there a way out? Okay, now you might think the first step is going to be about money, right? Like start investing or find a side hustle. But nope. According to this blueprint, the journey actually starts inside your own head. The very first move, it's all about changing the way you think. So, what does this mindset shift actually look like in practice? Well, it's all about consciously moving from what they call a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. It's about taking those little voices in your head that say things like, oh, I can't risk investing, and flipping them on their head, replacing them with something powerful like, I deserve abundance. The whole point is, your bank account doesn't change until your beliefs do. That's the core idea here. And to really hammer this mental reframing home, they bring in a pretty famous idea, the growth mindset. You probably heard of it. It's this belief that you're not just stuck with the skills you have. It's about looking at a challenge and seeing it as a chance to get better, not a wall you're going to hit. And when you mess up, that's not failure. It's just a stepping stone on your way to success. All right, so once you've supposedly got your head in the right space, the guide switches gears. It moves from all that internal stuff to a real tangible goal. Because, let's be honest, thinking differently is great, but the key to real freedom, it argues, is earning differently. And the magic words here are building passive income. So what exactly is passive income, at least according to this guide? Well, the definition is pretty simple. It's money you make with little to no active work. I mean, it's the ultimate dream, right? Making money while you sleep or while you're on a beach somewhere. This, the guide says, is how you finally stop trading your precious time for a paycheck. From there, the guide lays out a couple of the usual suspects. First, you've got real estate. The pros, rental income. Your property value goes up. The cons, you need a ton of money to start. And let's not forget the potential headaches of being a landlord. Then there are dividend stocks. Sure, you get regular income and growth, but you're basically riding the roller coaster of the stock market, and you really have to know what you're doing. So the guide presents these as options, yeah, but it also makes it very clear they're not exactly a walk in the park. But here's the thing. This whole blueprint isn't just about piling up cash. It tries to sell you on a much bigger, more aspirational idea. It's not just about money. It's about designing what it calls a freedom lifestyle. And they actually give you a 3-step process for how to do this. First, you have to actually figure out what your ideal life even looks like. What do you really care about? Then you design your perfect day. And finally, you have to protect that new life by setting firm boundaries. The big idea is that you stop being a passenger in your own life and start being the architect. Okay, so let's recap. We've covered mindset, passive income, and lifestyle design. But this is where the whole thing takes a really sharp turn. After showing you how hard those traditional methods are, the guide pulls back the curtain on what it claims is the ultimate, superior solution. They call it the game changer. And it's supposed to be the answer to all those problems we just talked about. Not needing a huge pile of cash like for real estate or dealing with the crazy risks of the stock market. This is pitched as the smoother, more accessible path to financial freedom. And to prove its point, the guide walks you through a super specific example. It all starts with a hypothetical investment. Let's imagine you start with, say, 10 lakh rupees. So after year 1, with a pretty standard 10% return, that money grows to 11 lakh rupees. Simple enough, right? But hang on, because this is where they say the real magic kicks in. See, because you're reinvesting the earnings, the growth starts to accelerate. It snowballs. By the time you hit year 3, that initial 10 lakh has become over 13 lakh. And that exponential curve, that's the core appeal of compounding.
The guide presents this as the secret key to unlocking serious wealth without massive upfront risk.
And then, right after showing you that incredibly powerful example, we get to the true purpose. The entire framework, the mindset shift, the lifestyle design, the compelling math of compounding, it was all building up to this one single thing. The final step isn't another investment tip, it's an invitation to book a sales consultation. So what we've really just walked through is both a guide to financial concepts and, well, a meticulously crafted sales funnel, which leaves us with a final critical question. Is this a genuine blueprint for achieving financial freedom, or is it a masterclass in modern marketing? That's something for you to decide.